So the third one here, the meme generation, I think is one of the most fundamental shifts in what's going on with our society right now that most people aren't aware of. This here is a story of a guy that some of you might have heard of. His name is Logan Paul. He's got 22 million subscribers. He does all sorts of different videos, but one of the things he's really passionate about is collecting cards. And he was collecting Pokemon cards. And he's like, this is crazy that all of these different collectibles that people are now buying because they don't want their money in US dollars. So they're putting it into things that they think are going to have high value. At the same time that something came along, which are called NFTs, which is a non-fungible token. And I'm not going to get too much into the detail right now, but what I will do is give you this link. This guy, Andrew Steinhold, does really good 101 blogs. He wrote this one, The History of Non-Fungible Tokens, which effectively is something which is a collectible, like a Pokemon card, but it's a collectible online. So it's linked to the blockchain. But think of it effectively like your address, which is your blockchain address, has got the ability to actually connect with it a piece of art, for example, like a digital piece of art. If you were to go back and just think for a moment about what happened back in 1995, when everyone could get their own URL. So I want to make a comparison of at that point, if you hadn't yet got your website and you didn't really know about the power of the internet, and it's like, well, what's the big deal that like people are going on this thing online because I'm still doing all my things in real life, right? Well, what actually happened was when people got that you could reduce any company in the world down to 10 digits. Because effectively, if you take an IP address, which is where you find a URL, has got 10 digits. So I mean, any server, anyone in the world can look for those 10 digits and they'll find the IP address of that laptop, right? Or they'll find the IP address of a particular website to go to, right? And as a result, you can link any laptop with any website and boom, straight away, you can connect to the world. Because we digitize addresses as far as it goes with websites. Blockchain addresses are anywhere from 32 to 64 digits, right? So it's a totally, like we're talking about a trillion times more than 10 digits. But now you can plug anything into it. So now we're actually now into the whole, not just Internet of Things, where you can actually link anything into the real world in such a way we can find it straight away or actually go and access it straight away, but any asset, which means every asset in the world, you can take a building and divide it into 1 million specific URLs, and you straight away have got the ability to be able to find that 1 millionth of that one property, and someone can own that, right? And NFTs is about linking that one thing to a particular unique thing, like a piece of art. And so off the back of that, what actually happened over the last 6 months is the biggest exploding market, even more than Ethereum and blockchain, Bitcoin, is NFTs. And so what happened in this story here is that Logan was like, well, hang on, I just bought $200,000 box of Pokemons. What if I created my own cards? And so what he did, here you can see it, he did this in January this year. He actually started selling NFTs to his own cards, right? So this is the Logan Paul card. He basically within one day made $5 million. And this was the beginning of what then started happening with the likes of, this is a video that we'll drop a link to, World's First Trillionaire, which is basically what's going to happen when Bitcoin gets to $1 million, where actually Metakovan, he's a 32-year-old kid from Singapore who 4 years ago had like no money at all. And he decided to get into NFTs, and he's now worth over $100 million. And he's the guy who bought the Beeple artwork for $69 million. So if you've never heard about that, Christie's, for the first time, auctioned a digital piece of artwork. This is Beeple here, and you can see him. He's at home in America somewhere. This is Beeple. He's been doing a piece of digital art every single day for the last, past 5,000 days. It's been like over a decade. And if you want to follow him, by the way, like he just gives it away for free, right? So if you go to Instagram, these are the kind of bits that he does. That one you can see it was 14 years since he started this. He'll take whatever's topical and he'll actually just do a piece of art, and he does it for free. But what he did was he actually brought them all together. So if I show you what it looks like, you can go to Beeple Christie's and you'll see then basically, as you can see here, you can zoom into it. So I can kind of go into any one piece and I can see what he was doing on that particular day. And of course, Christie's only allows you to zoom to this, but if you actually had the piece of art, you could zoom right down to each one of these. And so Metakovan basically went into the bidding war to look to buy this. He says, I want this because this is like, piece of history. He's not looking to sell it, by the way. What he's doing with it is he's actually putting it up in a virtual gallery online so anyone can come in and enjoy it. But basically off the back of that, of him buying it, you can see here, Beeple is here just kind of watching like the day before, because I was sharing this with our community, because we share all of this kind of stuff. The day before, it was actually at 8,000, and you can see it goes up to 27,000 with 1 minute left to go. And he's like, what? And then we're up to 50 million with 1 minute left to go. Here's his family. And then it stops 1 second and went from 60 to 69 million, right? And this was Metakovan that beat in at that. And you can see he's a bit shocked by that. And one thing that Metakovan says in this interview, which is why I really highly recommend you watch it, is he says, this is not about the money. This is about a whole new future. I'm from India. I believe in the American dream. The American dream is no longer in America. The American dream is now in this new metaverse. And most people don't even realize it. Less than 1% of the world even owns any cryptocurrency or even knows about this new world that's getting created. But this world will be bigger than the entire world. In this one, Patrick Bet-David, he basically is like just getting the realization that within a certain number of years, there'll be more crypto millionaires in the world, billionaires in the world, than there are dollar billionaires. We're going to see that happen in the next 5 years. And we're all part of this. So your ability to just understand this shift that's happening, it's like, I'm standing here at the dock saying, well, do you want to just stay here in London in the 15th century or 16th century, or do you actually want to come with me on the boat to America and just see what's going on over there? That's what we're talking about here, is that the investment world is totally changing as a result of these massive shifts that are taking place as well. Just in the last week, the number of multimillionaires from Ethereum doubled. This is not happening, 2 months ago or 3 months ago. It's happening right now. And the same will happen again in the coming months. And we're going to show you exactly why, because most of this world is based on specific events happening, which we then totally change either the liquidity or the dynamics on supply or the dynamics on demand. And it's changing at this incredible rate where just small changes are making a huge difference to what's coming. But again, if someone was to go back to the 16th century and say, oh, America, that's just a blip. It's just a bubble. It's going to go away. They're totally misunderstanding what's really happening here right now as well.